everybody, it's Geordie from Geordie Colours. Thank you so much for joining me. I am back with episode 48 of our full book colour along in R.J. Hampson's gorgeous book Awake. This one is called Investigation. So let's dive in. What do we start with? Let's start with our tiger. So I'm going to go with YR5, YR8 and YR7 for him. It's quite a big area to cover, isn't he? Let's see, let me go around this area. So it's kind of a brownish orangey colour, which I thought would work well for my tiger. I'm just going to lay in some shadows as I always do. I'm trying to think where I need to go. So I want to try and go around the stripes as much as possible. Okay, let's add in the YR8. Oh, put the wrong end. So, I hope you're all doing well. Yeah, episode 48. It means we've got 2 pages after this one left to do. Only 2 pages. It's kind of crazy. I can't believe how quickly this kind of year has gone. When I started this project, I was like, yeah, it's going to take me nearly a year, do 1 page a week, 52 weeks in a year, so 50 pages. I can get it done in just under a year. It felt like it was going to take a lifetime. Like it seemed like such a big commitment, and now here we are at the end of it, and I'm kind of like, wow, that's gone so quickly. Yeah. Thank you all, everybody who's been joining in and colouring along with me. I hope you've been enjoying it and maybe learning something, I don't know, having fun at the very least. I've definitely been having some fun. It's been really, really good. I haven't got any plans to do anything else at the moment. You may or may not know, depending on whether you've watched my other videos, but I am at the very minute in the process of moving back to the United Kingdom from the UAE. So I am pre-recording this. I'm recording this at the beginning of June. So I will have the book finished in June. It was a lot easier to try and pre-record once I knew I was moving, because I felt like I wanted to get this finished and I didn't want to kind of leave it hanging. So I felt like pre-recording was a good option. So I have actually already finished the book by the time you're watching this, but yeah, it's still pretty cool. And if you are joining in with me and you have managed to keep up the whole time and you have also finished the book, congratulations. Well, not quite. You won't have finished it yet because 2 more weeks to go. But yeah, it's kind of a good feeling. Never ever completed a colouring book before in my life, so it's kind of fun. Okay, I'm just giving this a second coat because I feel like it needs it. My markers are very juicy, so they are bleeding into the kind of stripes, but that's okay because my stripes are going to be a dark colour. They're going to be black, so don't stress too much about that because the darker colour should cover it quite nicely. But this marker in particular is super juicy. I can kind of see the ink running across the page as I'm laying it down. I guess I don't use my oranges very much. Okay, let's go into his leg here. A little bit of shadow there. I don't know if you can see the ink kind of spreading out as I'm laying it down. It's quite cool to watch, but I don't know if it's showing up on camera or not. I am filming this at night, so if the lighting's not brilliant, I do apologise. It's just trying to find the time to get everything done. And I've kind of got to grab my opportunities as and when they arise. Okay. his other leg here. Oh, I feel like that was meant to be black actually. Let's do that bit. I can probably cover that up easily enough. Okay, and let's do this one here. I think this page is going to be quite a quick one because apart from my tiger, there's not a huge amount else on the page. I'm not doing any backgrounds on this one, keeping it simple, which was the kind of goal when I started this project, just to do something really quick and easy, something that you could get done in 20 minutes, half an hour. Some of them have been a little bit longer than that, but on the whole, most of the pages have been about 20 odd minutes, 30 minutes. So I'm kind of keeping this one like that because that was kind of the goal when I started this. Do something nice and simple and easy. I never know where to put my shadows on faces. Struggle with faces, whether they're animal faces or human faces. Faces are kind of tricky. Okie doke. I've just got his tail left really, so figure out where the black stripes are going to go. Maybe I should do shadow on each side to make it look a bit rounded. Just leave a tiny bit in the middle for that brighter colour. You can see how quickly this ink is like spreading across the paper because it's just so juicy. Which isn't a bad thing, but on this kind of normal copier paper it makes it a little bit harder. Okay, let's do I don't know what I want to do with his little, yeah, I'm going to leave them for now. Let's do his black stripes. So, what have I got? I've got NG09, NG07 and NG03. Let's try these. Add a little bit of that darker one. I think these two are quite similar, the NG09 and NG07, so go quite sparingly with those, and then this one's really different. So it's going to take a bit of blending. And again, these ones are quite juicy, so I'm going to be careful about how much I'm putting on. I don't know if that's too light. I haven't got anything in between. Let me just have a quick look. Hold on. I feel like that NG03 is just a bit too light. Let's try CG070 if I can find it. It's always the way when you're looking for the markers. You can never see them. Sorry, I'm just gonna CG070. There it is. Let's try that. I feel like that might be a little bit better. Okay, so I've just replaced the NG030 with the CG070, and we'll give that a go and see how it looks. Be a little bit careful because these markers are so, that's probably meant to be orange in there. An odd looking stripe, that one. Don't know whether to put maybe put my black down this end, make it darker down this side. I've got it at both ends of some of those, but never mind, that's okay. Yeah, I really can't tell much difference between these two markers. They look quite similar. Slightly different with this one. It's a little bit lighter. Might dry a little bit lighter again, so we'll see. Wow, they've got so much ink in them. They're just like bleeding out everywhere. To be a little bit careful, it's making a right mess. It's really hard because when you want to blend them, you want to put ink down, but there's almost too much ink there. It's kind of bleeding outside the lines. But never mind, we'll make it work. Do the ones on his leg. I had a complete mental block when I was trying to think about the colours for this tiger. I could not remember if they had white stripes or black stripes. And I actually ended up having to Google it because I was really confused. And then I realised that they do have some white stripes and some black stripes. So the black stripes tend to be on their body, and then there's more white around their faces. So, you know, I guess I wasn't too far off in thinking that they had white and black. I think the tips of their tails are actually white. So I'm going to leave the tip of his tail. Just a touch of that in there. Okay, we've got this other leg to do here. I'm not quite sure what to do about the tips of his ears. I think I might do them black as well. When I say black, I mean grey, obviously, because if you do something flat black, it just looks, well, it doesn't look dimensional. It's got no dimension to it. I'm a bit annoyed about how much it's bleeding out everywhere, but there's not really much I can do about it. Trying not to press too hard with the marker because it's literally, the ink's just kind of flowing out of them. Okay, so do I want to do, I think I'm going to do the stripes on his face black as well, even though I just said they have white stripes around their face, but I'm going to do these ones black, and maybe the tips of his ears as well. And his eyebrows. Okay. I've missed a little bit of his ear down here, so is that YR7? Or his eye rather, and his ear here. Okay, yeah, it doesn't look too bad. So I'm gonna go in with, yeah, I don't know whether I need another, I need another colour, let's see. let's try. Sorry, I'm kind of thinking as I'm going. 107. Okay, let's try this. So we've got YR107 and E090, and I'm gonna, oops, I'm gonna enter that one. I'm gonna add some of this to these kind of, I want to say whitish areas, but I don't want them completely white. I want to add a little bit of colour to them. So I'm kind of adding this kind of creamy orangey colour to it. I think I'll just fill it all in. Go back in with that one a little bit more. Yeah, I think that looks okay. A little bit on his belly here. Now I'm not 100% sure if that's belly. I don't know. Depends how round his belly is, I guess. Let's do his feet first. He's got very big paws. Do you think that bit's belly? He's got quite a round belly, hasn't he? I don't know if it's going to look right. I don't know if it looks wrong coloured. Oh well, let's colour it in and see. I'm going to colour it all that colour. There we go. I think that looks okay. Okay, let's do his other paw. Shade that in. And then he's got one more paw over here that we need to do. Okay, and then I wanted to do his face. I think his nose needs to be black as well, maybe. But we want to do this part of his face. Make it look a bit darker. Okay. Then, oh, I forgot about his tail as well. I need to do his tail. Oh, wrong colour. The darker one. Okay. So I'm going to pull out some black again and do his nose. So I've got the same NG09, NG07 and CG070. And I want to do his nose in these colours. I think I'll just do the NG09 and the CG070. And then I'm going to do his claws black as well. So I'm just using the CG070 to begin with. And then very carefully with the NG09, I'll just add a touch of shadow to those. Just a touch, because it is so juicy. They're just kind of bleeding out all over the place. Okay, that's pretty much my tiger done. So let's do my little mouse. I've got, what have I got for my mouse? I'm going to use CG2 and CG200 for him. Make him a nice little kind of grey mouse, but a pale little mousey. It's very cute. He actually looks quite happy. I'm not sure I'd be very happy if I had if I was being held up by a tiger. I've got to get some pink for his tail and his nose and his ears. So I'm going to go with R20. I say pink, it's kind of more of a peachy pink. It's actually not too dissimilar from the colour I used on the rest of the tiger. Okay, I might get something a little bit pinker. Let's see. Let's try R200 just to add, I'll just kind of pull that out just to add a little bit of difference. I feel like that's a bit too dark. I might just fill that all in with that one. That looks a bit better. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, it's probably a bit too dark. I probably should have checked that first, but never mind. Okay, and then all we've got to do is the leaves. So I've got G1, G3, and G8. So I'm going to start with this G1. Looks like one of those, what are they called? Monstera plants? Is that what they're called? I think that's what it is. Add a little bit of that, and then the G3. And finish up with the G8. Nice bright greens. Kind of struggling to get my blending quite right because the markers that I'm choosing at the moment are really juicy. They've got a lot of ink. It's quite hard to blend because if you put too much ink on, it's just going to kind of spread out across the page, which we don't really want. And I'm just using the same green for the leaves. You could mix it up if you want to, but I figured I'd just keep it all the same. Since we're going with quick and simple. Okay, that's pretty much all my colouring done. So let's pull out a white, this is a Signo Uniball gel pen in the size broad. And I'm going to clean up some of the areas where it's kind of bled outside the lines. Like I say, the markers are so juicy, they've just kind of made a bit of a mess all over the place. So I'm just going to try and clean that up where I can. The great thing about gel pens is you can use them for tidying things up a little bit as well. Okay. Now let's put some down my tiger's back. Unfortunately, I can't clean up these bits where it's kind of bled outside the lines, but it's okay, we'll live with it. Or I should say bled outside the lines inside the image, because it won't work. And some down his tail here. Some around his leg, and some on this kind of paw here. It's not going on very smoothly. So go around this leg. And then some around his nose. Maybe a little bit around his ears. Give him a little bit of shine on his claws. And then maybe on this bit here as well. I think we need it around the mouth because you won't see it. Okay, I'm going to tidy up his eye here a little bit as well. Kind of seep into his eye. And that's pretty much it. But just for a little bit of added extra, I think we might add some glossy accents to his eyes. So let's see if I can get it working without having to struggle with it. Always gets clogged up. Let's see if I can get it out. Nope. never works. Let's use a pen. See if that helps any. Is that gonna come out? Oh, thinking about it. Oh, I don't know, it always seems to get clogged up, no matter what I do. Okay, let's try again. This is the bit that always takes the longest because my glossy accents do. Oh. Ah, it's come out in a big rush. What can I use? I've got an old paintbrush somewhere. This one, where's my old paintbrush? Oh, this one will do. Let's see if I can scoop some of that up, put it on his other eyeball. It's always the way, it kind of just comes out in a big pile. Right, I need a paper towel and I haven't got one. What am I gonna do? What have I got that I can use? Oh, I've got a scrap of old cardstock here I can use. I can just wipe it on. There we go. That'll work. I'll just scoop some more up because it's rather thick. And then I'll spread, oh, there's the big lump that got stuck in the bottle. Okay. Oh, this is going to turn into a big mess. Oh, there we go. Got it. Okay, so now I can just spread this glossy accents around with my paintbrush. I wouldn't recommend using a good paintbrush for this because it will probably just harden up like glue. But I managed to salvage it, so I'm quite happy about that. And there we are, finished. That is Investigation, and that is page 48 of my full book colour along. I hope you enjoyed that one, and I hope that you will come back and join me for the last 2 pages before we're done, which is quite exciting. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you all again soon. Take care. Bye.